Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rabbi Cass. I'm a Sofer in Muncie, New York. You can find me online at sofercenter.com. So today's video is going to be a tutorial on what you need to know when you're buying your mezuzahs. Just a quick guide. I'm also going to make a longer video that's going to go in depth on a lot of the things which I'm going to be talking about today. But today, just so to speak, the facts. What do you need to know? So the first thing you need to know is when we're talking about the mezuzah, I'm talking about the mezuzah scroll. That's the parchment that's handwritten that goes inside of the mezuzah case. This is the case, and the scroll goes inside the case. Talking about the mezuzah scroll today. So the first thing you have to know when buying your mezuzah scroll is, where are you buying it from? I can't go into the video right now to explain why it's so important. I'll leave that for the video, which is going to be going more at length, and the link will be in the description. But suffice it to say, more important than anything else is where you're buying this scroll from. Must be a trusted source. Must be a Sofer, somebody who specializes in selling and or writing mezuzahs. eBay, Amazon, many Judaica stores are not the place to buy mezuzahs, and also a link for that will be in the description. So you must, once you establish that trusted source where you're going to be buying your mezuzah, the next thing you need to know is what style writing do you need to have, because there's different fonts, so to speak, in the actual writing of the letters. So generally speaking, there's three fonts. You have Ksav Sephard, which is used by Sephardim. You have, or also known as Ksav Velish. You also have Ksav Beis Yosef, which is Ksav, which is typically used by people of Ashkenazi descent, or people who are Litvish or Litvaks. Then you have Ksav Arizal. The Arizal implemented several changes in the letters according to Kabbalah. That's typically going to be used by many and most Hasidim. And then there's actually a fourth Ksav, which is unique to Chabad Hasidim, which is called Ksav Admor Zaken, Ksav Alter Rebbe, or Ksav Chabad. So how do you know which Ksav you need? So typically, if you're davening Nusach Ashkenaz, you're going to need a Beis Yosef mezuzah. If you're davening Nusach Sfar, then you're a Chassid, you'll take Arizal. If you're a Sephardi, you know it. And if you're not davening Nusach Arizal, then you will take either Arizal mezuzah, or you'll probably want to consider a Chabad or a Ksav Admor Zaken mezuzah. Now, what's important to realize is whichever Ksav you need, there are different quality written mezuzahs within that Ksav. So whether it's Beis Yosef, Arizal, Sephard, or Chabad, there are varying different levels. You could find a Arizal mezuzah for, let's say, $70, and you could find a Beis Yosef for $150, or vice versa. One Ksav is not necessarily better than the other in terms of how it's written in quality. It's just a different style font, for lack of a better term. So it's the font that's different. No, it's not Beis Yosef mezuzahs are better than Arizal or one way or the other. There is no difference in that sense. So you have to know which Ksav you need. Once you establish that, you're buying a mezuzah from a trusted source, you establish, you know what Ksav you need to buy. Then there's the different sizes of the mezuzahs. What are the different sizes of the mezuzahs? There are 3-inch, also known as 6 centimeters, 4-inch, known as 10 centimeters, 5-inch, which are 12, known as 12 centimeters, 6-inch, which are 15s, and 8-inch mezuzah, which is 20 centimeters. In America, we work in inches. In Israel, they work in centimeters, and that's why you have a lot of times the Sofer will be talking in centimeters and you'll be talking in inches. But that's how they correspond to each other. Now, stay far away from 3-inch mezuzahs. If you want to know more why, you have to watch the longer video. I cannot explain it and keep this video short and concise. 4-inch mezuzahs are, generally speaking, b'di'evet, mediocre, very basic bottom line mezuzahs. It has to do with the fact that smaller is harder to write. 5-inch mezuzahs, which is already considered a decent size, that's the size that I sell, 5-inch and larger. You could have a good quality mezuzah in a 5-inch, which is a 12 centimeter mezuzah. 6-inch would be considered already nice. And even within these sizes, you'll have some mezuzahs are a little bit nicer, some a little bit not as nice within the 6-inch. So you could have a 6-inch mezuzah, which is 120, or one that's 180. It'll vary in how nice the writing is, and how many details, how consistently it's written, and how nice it is. So the 5-inch versus the 6-inch, the 6-inch will be nicer written with also more details, which will make it a Mehudim mezuzah versus, let's say, just kosher lechatchila, and that's that sense. So that's the what you have to keep in mind. So you're buying mezuzahs from a trusted source. You know what ksav you need. I just told you what sizes there are, so you can try to make a decision of what quality mezuzah you want based off the sizes. Now, the next thing you need to know is what kind of case you're going to want to use. That also, I have to put a link in the description, because there's certain cases for indoors, outdoors, and I go into at length in a different video to explain what type of cases to use. The last thing I will tell you is when you're ordering your mezuzah, when you do order that case, and make sure it's the appropriate case, is don't make that mistake that a lot of people make when they buy a mezuzah case online or over the phone, and they say, oh, you know, I just bought you know, the mezuzah itself, you have to buy from a trusted source. The case you can buy pretty much anywhere, assuming you're buying the right case. So a lot of times people will buy the mezuzah by me and they'll buy a case somewhere else because I specialize in mezuzah scrolls, not mezuzah cases. So a lot of times they'll buy a nice 6-inch scroll from me or a 5-inch scroll from me, and then they'll buy a case which is advertised to be 5 inches, but it's with basically when they're advertising the measuring, it's from the top to the bottom here. In the meantime, you can see that the space for the actual mezuzah is a lot smaller. So when you're buying that mezuzah case, make sure you're buying a case that could accommodate the size scroll that you purchased or plan on purchasing, and that way when the case comes, you'll make sure that the case is going to work for the mezuzah that you have. So I hope this video was informative. I hope this gave you a little bit of understanding, a desire to want to watch the other videos, which I'm going to put the links in the description. And if you're buying a mezuzah, which is something which is so important, I really recommend you do watch the other videos so you can make sure that you understand and appreciate why I'm saying what I'm saying, and you could get an understanding and just make sure that when you buy that mezuzah that's going to last you your entire life, buy a good mezuzah, buy the mezuzah that you intend to buy, and put it in a case, the right type of case, so that mezuzah that you buy and you invest so much time, effort, and money into buying, it will actually last you. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel for more videos, and stay tuned. Take care.